last season's Serie A top scorer, Victor Osimhen, with 26, and started with a bang, netting a double in Napoli's win last week and over Frosinone, meaning he's now netted in a brace in 3 of his last 4 competitive appearances for club and country. One of those aiming to keep him quiet will be Sassuolo defender Martin Ehrlich, who had a really good first match day. No Serie A player making more clearances than him. The hot streak, Napoli hasn't actually scored before half-time in any of their last 8 home matches in the league. Wherever you are listening in, thank you for joining us on Flash Score. I'm David Farini, and we'll be taking you through the next couple of hours. Missing for Napoli, Gaetano, the midfielder, and Obiang, another midfielder for Sassuolo, and Alvarez, who's the Uruguayan striker. He's a good backup for the likes of Pinamonti and De Frel. There's 2 skippers out in the middle. Consigli and Di Lorenzo shake hands. Festivities nearly over, a few seconds away from this match kicking off. Under Antonio Giulia, who's in for his 43rd Serie A game in his career, his first of this season. Napoli has never won under him, and he's contested 2 of their matches. Sassuolo with 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss under Antonio Giulia. This is the 21st meeting in Serie A between these 2 clubs. Napoli have won 11 times, Sassuolo twice, 7 draws. It is first from last season. The Campioni d'Italia against Sassuolo, who are now one of the staples of the Italian calcio diet, known as the watermelon peel, or the Nero Verdi, the green and black. It's actually a really good song out there by Neck, N-E-K, if you want to look that one up. Nero Verdi, fabulous rock song. He's a well-known artist in the peninsula and Latin-speaking countries. Sings in Italian, but Neck, N-E-K. Go look that one up. We are nearly set. Napoli in a huddle. First home game of the season for them, coming off the back of a 3-1 win over Frosinone away, which is not too far from Naples. A couple of hours in the car, a little bit north towards Rome, but inland. Frosinone is fresh up from Serie B. They actually won. They beat Atalanta yesterday, their second game of the season. Kvaratskhelia named in the squad. He's on the bench. He's not starting. A couple of ex-Sassuolo players are for Napoli on both wings to flank Osimhen. Let's get this going. Sassuolo will go from left to right in the first half. Napoli will kick us off, though. They're in their blue with the white shorts. New strip for the champions. And they will have the tricolore, the 3 colours, green, white and red, on their shirt. They get us going. Zielinski gets it out to the right side as Di Lorenzo tries to chip it back over the top. A set move, as Napoli like to do. We saw that all through their last season. They're playing a 4-3-3. Sassuolo also with the same formation. Consigli in goal. Tresoldi, Ehrlich in the middle of the defence. Toljan on the right. Vigna on the left. Spent some time with Bournemouth after leaving Roma last season. Maxime Lopez will pull the strings. He was linked with Napoli in the summer. Also linked with Barcelona earlier in the year. Bolocca is a new signing from Frosinone, a Romanian midfielder. Matheus Enrique scored 4 times last campaign. Pinamonti up forward. In the middle will be the focal point. Beirami and Loriente, the 2 wingers. Loriente will come in from the left, and he's got a job to do now. Osimhen receives just outside the box. Di Lorenzo's there. Big chance! And that's some woodwork. Raspadori, an ex-Sassuolo player, is on hand and nearly fired Napoli into the lead within the first 60 seconds of the game. Good ball in from Di Lorenzo. And Raspadori, the ex-Nero Verdi man, made his name. Got selected for Italy at Sassuolo. Left there last summer. Won the Scudetto with Napoli. Has struck the woodwork in the first minute of the game, to Rudi Garcia's disappointment in his second game in charge only. Left Al Nassr earlier in the year. He was the coach of Cristiano Ronaldo. Apparently the pair had a falling out. Now Sassuolo trying to get a ball forward to Pinamonti. Goes to Meret. He'll pump it long. The header from Vigna. He's looking for some support. He's found Loriente, who's got a couple of Napoli players around him. He'll go back to Maxime Lopez. Now it's slowed down by Bolocca. Good pass to release Loriente. Gets past the first line of defence, which is Di Lorenzo. Took a touch, went to ground. He took a tumble, wants a free kick, not going to get it. Antonio Giulia, the referee, on hand. Now it's Matias Oliveira. You remember him from scoring a fabulous goal against Salernitana here. With a few weeks to go last season, it looked as though Napoli would win the Scudetto that day here at home, until Boulaye Dia, the Salernitana striker, Senegalese, scored an absolute curler, a ripper into the top corner to beat Alex Meret. The game tied 1-1, and then Napoli were delayed. They had to go to Udine and get a result there, and they celebrated in the northeast on the Slovenian border. Anguissa on the ball now, with the option of Politano, who's another Sassuolo former player before Inter came through. Napoli have had him for a few seasons now, and he's on the right side. Scored against Frosinone, and now it's Di Lorenzo. Squares it up. Anguissa was waiting. It's cleared away by Tresoldi. The ball comes back with interest towards Osim, and out comes Consigli and punches. Raspadori now scampering forwards. He's got Oliveira inside of him. And Napoli looking fast and furious in the opening 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Jelinski now pinpoints Di Lorenzo. Uses Politano as a decoy. Chance for Osimhen. Goes down. Wants a penalty. The referee waves it away. Surely VAR will have a look. Osimhen with the mask on this week. Scored a brace in his first match of the season. Now, there was contact there between the Brazilian defender Tresoldi as Osimhen got round the back of him in between the keeper. It's play on for now. Ball's gone out as Pinamonti couldn't keep it in. So there is going to be a penalty check. It has to occur now. Dionisi, the Sassuolo coach, his heart will be thumping. Napoli with the throw. They find Juan Jesus, where's the number 5. Played under Spalletti at Inter, and under him here in Napoli. Spalletti now the coach of Italy, and should look to the likes of Raspadori, Di Lorenzo and Politano maybe, who crosses this ball in. Osimhen wants to chest it down and then put it through the legs of Erlich. The Croatian defender's gone down, and now Lobotka wants to play on, but I think Sassuolo's going to get a free kick here. Erlich, as we said at the top of the broadcast, the most clearances on match day 1 of any player in the league with 6. So an early shout for a penalty for Victor Osimhen. But the referee's let a couple of things go. Down the other end, Arman Loriente wanted a free kick just outside the box. It wasn't awarded. What a crafty player, Loriente, Frenchman that came over from Lorient, just to confuse the situation. Scored 7 and assisted 6 times in his debut season last year. Started off with the Orléans and Rennes. Sassuolo with another free kick, but up towards the halfway line. Napoli just with Osimhen, and then a line of 5 across behind him, horizontally. So Sassuolo go out to the left. Vigna finds Loriente inside. Matias Enrique, another big talent. Sassuolo have a habit of finding these players and moving them on. They brought in a couple of newbies in the summer. Lobotka leaves it for Jesus. Finds the chest of Osimhen towards the halfway line. Wants to chip and chase. Gets it over the back of Tresoldi. He's already causing nightmares for the Brazilian defender. He was bouncing. He had his back to Tresoldi. Chipped it over the top of it. Osimhen would have been at least first to the ball. Not sure he would have beaten the next defender, who was quick to close in. Osimhen, 6 goal involvements against Sassuolo in 4 appearances prior to this game. 5 goals and 1 assist. The most goals of any striker in 2023 in the Europe's top 5 leagues. 19 goals. It's better than Erling Haaland, yes, you better believe it. Although Haaland will be the undisputed for 2022. And Jesus commanding the defence as Ramani's pushed forward to offer some height. Lobotka. Superb season for the Slovakian midfielder. Couldn't find his way into the team, was out of shape under Gennaro Gattuso. Spalletti came, ball over the top now for Di Lorenzo, hooked away. It's good defending by Lorientè, who's been busy. Now it's Raspadori. Big Jack wants to get in and shoot on his right boot. Instead he spreads it across for Onguissá, who's back into the starting lineup for Jens Kajuste, new Swedish midfield signing for Aurelio De Laurentiis and the Partenopei. It's a wayward pass from Oliveira. Disappointing, as Napoli just looking to soak up a bit of pressure. Let Sassuolo sweat it out. Tunisi has earned the fewest points in his career in Serie A against Napoli, averaging just 0.25 of a point every time. 1 draw and 3 losses. Former Empoli, Venezia and Olginatese coach. It's where he ended his playing career. He was a central defender in the lower divisions. Varese, Tritium and Voghera, his main clubs. Retired at Olginatese, took over as the manager, then has gone up the ladder from there, finds himself in Serie A. After bringing Empoli up from Serie B, immediately took the Sassuolo position. Lobotka wants to switch play, can't find Politano. Aurelio De Laurentiis has been the victim of a bit of trolling from Al Ahly fans of late. You can see all that on Twitter. They're quite proud that they've been able to get the signature of Gabri Veiga, celebrating it as though they've won a cup or something like that. But signing a 21-year-old midfielder who's not exactly unproven, but he's only had 6 good months in his career, and it's a big money investment. Napoli not prepared to go all out and get him. Image rights are a big factor when it comes to playing for Napoli, not so with Saudi Arabia, that are desperate to get any big name at all. Now Osimhen, he was one of the targets of Al Hilal. Big money offer. Saudis couldn't get him, could they? He's currently in contract negotiations. 2 goals for him to open his account against Frosinone last weekend. Not a good start for Di Francesco, their new coach, until they got the 2-1 win over Atalanta yesterday. Earlier today there were some results. Juventus shocked. First game of the season at home for them, and they were behind for a lot of the game until Vlahovic equalised in the 80th minute. It was Ferguson, the Scottish player, sent Bologna into the break with a 1-0 lead. It ended 1-1. Earlier at the same time was Gonzalez and Duncan for Fiorentina. Second half reply from Rafia and Kristovic. 2-2 between Fiorentina and Lecce. Napoli still in possession, but now Bayrami has taken the ball away until Lobotka picked his pocket. Now Juan Jesus pointing and commanding where the ball should end up. Lobotka can't get it there. Onguissá will intercept as Vigna couldn't find Lorientè into the attacking half, only just for the Azzurri, 3-time champion of Italy. Sassuolo just happy to be there, I guess. A mid-table team. Sometimes they do finish in the top 7, part of the 7 sisters, until Fiorentina have taken their place. And now Juventus, who finished around that area, but will not play in the Conference League. Raspadori takes this to the byline. Can't hook it back in before it bounces out of play. Yesterday there was more Serie A action. Frosinone, of course, beating Atalanta 2-1. Monza defeating Empoli 2-0. Milan with a big win over Torino, although there was a dubious penalty to get them the lead. 4-1 win over Torino in the end. Verona stunning Jose Mourinho 2-1. And they were down to 10 men for the last 20 minutes of the game. 14 minutes of stoppages in that one. Now it's Politano in off the right flank. Needs to cross it in. It's come off Vigna. And the linesman points for a Napoli corner kick right side of play. Sassuolo only beaten Napoli once in the past 15 Serie A matches. That was here. A 2-0 win with Locatelli and Maxime Lopez getting the goals. Napoli dominated the game, just couldn't find the back of the net. That was back in the Lorenzo Insigne and Dries Mertens era. Now it's Politano to deliver to the near post. Up and away. Sassuolo can clear their lines. Lobotka Zielinski opens up space into the half space. Comes the captain. This time there might be a penalty. Referee says not enough in that. Again, Napoli are appealing. Plenty of complaints. And it all started with Di Lorenzo, who backheeled a pass. There was a vertical pass down, and then Politano entered the fray. And we all know how dangerous he is on the left boot, but the referee, Antonio Giulia, was there on hand, and there's a triple pike involved in this roll, the dive from Politano. I'm sure VAR will have another look at it. 13th minute of play, Napoli 0, Sassuolo 0. 2 penalty appeals. It's as though the Sri Lankans are appealing for a wicket in the cricket. Napoli doing all the attacking. They've hemmed Sassuolo in. The first 13 minutes of the game are over. We'll take a look at the flash score stats. Got a little breather. They're checking the possible penalty. Not sure there's enough in it, but let's take a look at the replay. We'll get some vision shortly. The referee's been called over. We all know what that means. There's something in this. Now, was there enough to send Politano to the ground with merely the contact and not the player's force? Is there an element of simulation? There is a foot that comes across to meet Politano's left foot. Now, who got the ball first? Oh, that's so close. But it is Bolocca doing the defending, the Romanian midfielder. Politano, it is neck and neck. It's a photo finish as to who got to the ball first. Now, did Bolocca make contact with the ball and then the leg? On the follow-through, there's definitely some contact from Bolocca's body on Politano, but this is so close. The referee points to the spot, and Napoli will have the chance in the 15th minute to go ahead. They have not scored here at home in the first half in their past 8. Quite incredibly, I might add. Now, who wants to step up and take this? It's Victor Osimhen. Sometimes it's Kvaratskhelia. He's not starting. Rudy Garcia looks on. He wants 2 from 2 to start his Napoli tenure. Humble Victor, they call him. They call him the masked warrior, Zorro. Here we go. Andrea Consigli has already had his post struck by Raspadori. Now it's Napoli's number 9. 26 goals in last year's Campionato. Andrea Consigli, 37 years of age, and he's some goalkeeper. Osimhen doesn't have the best record with taking this. The Diego Maradona Stadium holds their breath. Osimhen steps in and smashes that straight down the middle. Napoli have the lead. A penalty, so clinical, sending Consigli down to his left. They've had them on the ropes for some time. His 3rd goal in Serie A this season. And he shoots out to lead the league. Shaped to go to his right. Waited for Consigli to start his motion. He went down to his left. Osimhen smashing that central to the left of goal as well. Curled it beautifully. It was rammed high into the net. And the Partenopei here, it is a sea of blue and it is a sea of ecstasy. The Forza Napoli scarves are up and about. We're ready for kickoff. It was a penalty awarded by referee Antonio Giulia after being summoned over to have another look by the virtual assistant referee. The first penalty for Victor Osimhen. Scored a sublime goal against Stefano Turati and Frosinone. Scored 2 actually, but they were both smashed in, but one was a one-on-one. His first goal before half-time. was vintage Serie A 90s. Batistuta-like, clinical into the top of the net. Keeper had no chance. His final flight response is absolutely ripped apart. Now Sassuolo from the kickoff have a bit of the ball for a change. Maxime Lopez spreads it out to Loriente. As Vigna as an option, looks inside for Mateus Enrique. Back for Lopez. Boloca has given away the penalty. Goes at goal and it bounces a couple of times. Not too awkward for Alex Meret, his first involvement in this game. Napoli don't concede too many shots at goal. Most teams have to go at them from long range, and there is a stat that I've written down before this match about how good Napoli are with conceding goals. I think it's only Barcelona that conceded less. Now Barcelona conceded they've only got less clean sheets than Barcelona. That's the stat I'm looking for. In the top 5 European leagues, only Barcelona has more clean sheets, 17 in 2023 compared to Napoli's 12. And now there's some high contact again in the box. Di Lorenzo involved, the captain. 2 assists for him last weekend. Getting back was Vigna. It's been a frantic start to this game. There's 2 Uruguayan left backs out there, one for each side. Matias Vigna and Matias Oliveira. Vigna is 25, spent some time in the Premier League, 12 goals, 2 goals in 12 games last season. 3 at Roma, came over from Palmeiras to Roma. And Sassuolo have the option on him. As for Oliveira, also 25. Spent most of his career after leaving Nacional. Now's a chance here for Sassuolo. Coming in from the right side was Beirami. Tried to knock it in, but it was too low to really cause any problems. Politano can see it off. Matias Oliveira for Napoli coming from Getafe. And immediately winning the Italian title. Loriente. It's got Anguissa and Di Lorenzo in front of it. The 2 players are going to try and beat from 40 yards. Loriente tries the chip around a couple of players, got past Lobotka, couldn't get past the final line. Sassuolo insisting here. Ball put into the half space on the left for Pinamonti. Politano's back to help. Di Lorenzo will go to Meret. Needs to pick his pass. Sassuolo have done well to hem Napoli in. Loriente's flick doesn't pay off. But the Neroverdi have it back on the halfway line. Lopez will go out to the right side for Toljan, who's hardly been involved. Now Tresoldi playing as the final defender. Erlich pushing up. Again, Napoli just trying to contain. Anguissa bowled over. Some contact from Loriente. Taken quick enough. Politano set a task to take on Vigna. Does have a turn of pace, Matteo Politano. It's got 2 players now. It comes off Vigna. Needs to avoid it going up for a corner. Politano saying it did. So did the linesman. Shocking defending from Matias Vigna. He'll be furious with himself, as will his coach, Alessio Dionisi. Politano almost talked him into doing that. 3 goals and 2 assists from Matteo Politano last season. His best with Napoli is 9 goals, but his career best is with Sassuolo in his final season before leaving for Inter. 10 goals and 4 assists back in 2017-18. Cost about 25 million back then. Came to Napoli for 20 as well. Now he's on the ball. Fires it in. Good header up and away by Tresoldi. Lobotka comes flying in. The ball's there to be contested. He'll be brought down by Zielinski on the left boot. Instead he goes to Di Lorenzo. Needs an option. Floats it over the top. Raspadori arrives. Osimhen with a header. Angles it back. Napoli will have another corner, I think. Oliveira up against the defender on the byline. Raspadori, the only option to go to. Di Lorenzo found him. Hooked it back over from Raspadori to Osimhen with a header. Oliveira on the follow-up, and Consigli is asking for more. He is so desperate, the goalkeeper from Sassuolo, just to see if they can get a coherent strategy at the back. Corner comes in from Zielinski, angled header on from Anguissa. It's come off a Nero Verde player halfway through the first half. Zielinski will have another chance from the left side corner. Link with the move to Saudi as well. Floats it in. Osimhen's there, and it's put behind again. It'll be the third corner in about a minute for Napoli from this side. And Zielinski will go short this time. Raspadori, Oliveira, Zielinski. It's a smart play. Raspadori went at goal. Smashed that on the left and looking to get it in. Not sure whether he was in two minds, if that was a shot or a cross, but it's gone about a metre wide of the left post from a tight angle. Colossal start here from the champions that pulled off an Italian job, a Neapolitan job, I guess you could call it, in 2022-23. I was at the stadium for the final rounds as well. What an occasion to celebrate. 2-0 win over Sampdoria to finish the season off. Quagliarella, the former Napoli player, and he is from Napoli as well, retired from Serie A with Samp. Sassuolo through the right side. Beirami, his pass can't find Toljan. Anguissa, string of short passes. Lobotka, now Jesus. Kim Min-jae no longer here. 50 million euro signing for Bayern Munich. They brought in Nathan, who's RB Bragantino defender from Brazil. 10 million euros. It's a 40 million profit, I guess, but Kim Min-jae is Kim Min-jae. Let's see what Nathan can do as the season wears on. Hasn't given him a chance. Rudy Garcia. Juan Jesus is the tried and tested part of the squad that won the Scudetto last season. Now Raspadori got back to just steal that ball away from Beirami. Referee allowing a fair bit to go. The last Serie A win in April for Sassuolo, that was at home against Empoli. They're 7 winless now, and they're behind already. They've lost here 6-1 in recent times and 4-0 with Osimhen's hat-trick, his first ever in Serie A. Now it's Politano, dummies the ball after the cross was put in by the captain. Osimhen wasn't waiting. Would have looked beautiful if it came off, but Nero Verde able to chip the ball, get it down ground. Bolocca and Pinamonti couldn't get on the end of it. Now it's with Ramani, the Kosovar central defender. Not for Politano. It's been lively. Beats Loriente. What's the fire? And it's fired it onto the athletics track behind Consigli's goal. It's on the bench for Sassuolo, young Christian Volpato, Italian-Australian player. As we go into the cooling break, let's go through some of the benches. Here is Napoli leading 1-0 thanks to Osimhen's penalty, with Politano being brought down. Big start to the season from Matteo Politano. Scored the equaliser last week and then wins the penalty here after Bolocca was adjudged to have fouled him. So Mulattieri on the bench. He spent the last couple of seasons in Serie B with Crotone and Frosinone. 18 goals in those 2 seasons in the second division, 4 assists, but before that made his name on loan from Inter at FC Volendam in the Eredivisie. 18 goals in one of the seasons. Apart from that, there is a new signing, Uros Racic. He's come over from Sporting Braga, formerly of Valencia, and Famalicão, Tenerife, and Red Star Belgrade. Raspadori also hitting the post here. What they do to get him back at Sassuolo? No Domenico Berardi, as he's linked with a move before the end of the transfer window. Juventus linked, and they may want to come in for him on the back of tonight's results. Rapture here in Naples. On the bench for them, Zanoli, Zerbin, Simeone, Mario Rui, Ostigard, Natam, the new defender, Herving Lozano, Kvaratskhelia, Elmas, who was the third top goal scorer last season with 6, and Cajuste, who is the Swedish midfielder that came over from Reims in the French league. Didn't have the best of starts. He gave away the penalty against Frosinone, and it was Harui, the ex-Sassuolo player, who converted it. Made life in Serie A, back in Serie A for Rudy Garcia, quite tough. Napoli able to equalise before too long. We're back after the cooling break. Now there's no one centrally up forward for Frosinone. Pinamonti peeled off to the right, so they're going to have to work their way across this horseshoe that Napoli have set up. Lovely ball through, half a chance here if the strike can come from Vigna. He's hit that into Romani, who gets up first and then bumps Vigna off in spectacular fashion. Beautiful defending from the Napoli centre half, and now Anguissa's back there to work things out with Di Lorenzo. Still the high press here. Loriente will see it out. Napoli throw deep in their own defensive thirds. Vigna trying to atone for his earlier error at the other end. Everyone on their feet here every time the ball goes into the penalty area, regardless of which half. Stats so far, you can see these on the app. The XG is 0.21 for Napoli, 0 for Sassuolo. Now they've got to defend against Osimhen. Swashbuckling run down the pitch. Now there was some contact here, and a yellow card's coming. Tresoldi has had his last warning from the referee. A couple of early fouls, which he was lucky to escape one. Osimhen was bowled over from the sides. Ran Tresoldi, wearing the number 44, is the first player in the book. It's always difficult to mark up on Victor. Tresoldi, 24-year-old central defender that came over from Gremio. Games coming into this one in Serie A. That's his 15th yellow card. He's had 3 reds in his time, so not the most disciplined. Standing over this, free kick for Napoli. It's about 30 yards away on the right-hand side of the pitch. They'll go backwards to Lobotka. Oliveira's there with it. Now he'll get it to the left side of the box. Di Lorenzo is over on the left side. Goes through the legs of Toljan. Sassuolo dancing the dance to get it out. Wonderful work from Bolocca. Goes the back heel to find Beirami. Sassuolo with a relieving throw. They're happy with that. Half an hour gone. 1-0 for Napoli here at the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona. Match day 2, late Sunday kickoff. Napoli unbeaten in the past 5 against Sassuolo with a 3.4 goal average. They've won 7 of 10 here against the Nero Verdi and could beat them 4 times in a row for the first time ever with a win. Sassuolo found some space. Vigna wants to get it out to the left side. Loriente wasn't there. Osimhen's all alone. He's up against Erlich here, and he's given away the foul. The Nigerian Croatian takes the free kick, and immediately Sassuolo feeling a little more confident on the big stage. Loriente up against Di Lorenzo. Now arriving is Maxime Lopez. Plays a 1-2. 2 Frenchmen. Going sideways though. Matias Enrique. Beirami. Maxime Lopez again. About 40 yards out now on the right side. They tried the first time pass through. Doesn't work out. Bolocca goes back to Maxime Lopez. A lot of width in Sassuolo's midfield trio. Now ball through the lines. Matias Enrique closed down quickly from Lobotka. Anguissa immediately goes to Victor. That's the out for them, and he's away down the left sides. He's got Tresoldi chasing it. He can only slow him down. Victor comes to a stop. Now Zielinski happy to have possession. It's been a professional performance despite the penalty, which could have gone either way. Napoli hitting the post and doing most of the attacking work. Di Lorenzo, give and go. Over the top it comes from Politano. That's a lovely play. Into the area he comes. Di Lorenzo needs Victor there. Somehow it's Ehrlich that gets in the way. Sassuolo saving the day, rescuing their goalkeeper here. What a passage of play from Politano to Di Lorenzo. It's actually come off Vigna. Just when you think there's nothing on, Napoli find a way. Sassuolo conceded 7 goals beyond the 75th minute in the past 5 matches. So if they can stay in it until then and then rectify that, they're a chance. Corner comes in, the header comes, and Anguissa glances that one to the left of goal, but only just. Oliveira getting there as well, but Anguissa is so powerful in the air. Saw a goal last season which came against Torino. Could so easily have doubled the lead right there. No one going with him. Napoli have won all of the past 7 opening day matches at home. Their first of the season, that translates to. Back in 1970 to 77 was a similar run. There was no press conference for Rudi Garcia in the lead-up. There was technical difficulties when he got there. But against Frosinone after that game, he said that he was proud of his side for not panicking. I think that's something they've learned under Spalletti. Even if they go behind, as they did a couple of times last season in big games, they came back and won. Lazio and Milan are 2 memorable results. Now Toljan into the box, tracked by Raspadori. Across comes Jesus. Sassuolo will have a corner. Good work in the end. As Bolocca got forwards, he won that. He put it into João Jesus on purpose. So this is a task at the back now for Alex Merritt to organise, marshal his troops. With 10 minutes to go until the break, can Napoli withstand? Sassuolo just edging their way in. In comes the header. And that's floated just to the left of goal as well. And that was Tresoldi, who's been yellow carded. He was all alone. Napoli have to do better there. It's early in the season. You cannot concede goals like that if you're trying to defend your title. Of the top 10 European leagues this season, Napoli had conceded the fewest shots on target with Stuttgart, Bayern and Wolfsburg, although Napoli only played the 1 match, so almost an unusable stat, but it's there. Enrique across to Maxime Lopez. Pinamonti on the edge of the box, but he's 20 metres away. Valiente tries to provide the link. Lopez, lovely ball in for Vigna. He goes down. Valiente arrives, got to get through Ramani. Can't get there. Anguissa holds it, goes one way, then the other. Turns them inside out. Away he comes. Leaves it back for João Jesus. Expertly done by the Cameroonian. Loving this African influence in Napoli's lineup. Pity that Koulibaly's gone off to Saudi Arabia and didn't make a return to take the place of Kim Min-jae, but Natani's here. Rudi Garcia, the Napoli coach, unbeaten in 5 against Sassuolo. That was back in his time with Roma between 2013 and 15. Since then he's gone on to coach Marseille, Lyon and Al Nassr. Through ball from Sassuolo. Out comes Alex Meret. The ball was shepherded through to him by Napoli's secret service there. Kvaratskhelia with 4 goal involvements in his 1 season. That's against Sassuolo, 2 goals and 2 assists, and he's on the bench. don't think Rudy Garcia will risk him before time. So if Napoli are dominating and have the scoreline they need, then Raspadori may see out the rest of the match there, or a chance might go to the likes of Hiven Lozano. Maybe Elmas can come into the game. Zerbin. 22 goal involvements in the first 23 games for Kvaratskhelia, 12 goals and 10 assists overall. It's the best anyone's done since Diego back in 2006-07 in their first year. Napoli just calming it down. Lobotka, Anguissa in front of Jesus. Sassuolo just setting up. They want the pass to come through towards the midfield before they trigger to run and orchestrate their high press. Now, back when Roberto De Zerbi was in charge of them, they were a thing of real beauty to watch. Lobotka now finds Raspadori, who was used in the pre-season friendlies as a central midfielder at times by Rudy Garcia. They beat Hatayspor 4-0, Osimhen and Simeone with a double each. Then they drew Girona from Spain. Simeone getting on the board there. Augsburg is Romani. Here's Osimhen, squares it up. Raspadori arrives. They're taken away by Boloka. Raspadori had no idea that the Romanian was behind him. Top work by Daniel Boloka. He's come back into the game well since being called for the penalty. And then the final friendly was against Apollon for Napoli. Osimhen and Simeone again. So 3 goals each for them in those 4 games. Romani, actually 4 for Simeone, and Romani with 1, Osimhen with 3. Now Toljan has been released on the right wing. Raspadori tracks back. Lobotka and Anguissa with Zielinski and Politano spread across. A staggered midfield for Napoli. Just looking to see where the Sassuolo midfielders are and then provide a chain. Boloka tries to backheel. Anguissa can't quite win the ball back. Away comes Maxime Lopez. Lots of space for him. Napoli trying to just suffocate Sassuolo. The ball comes floated in over Pinamonti's head, and Medet now will kick the ball out. Good sportsmanship as Anguissa might need some attention. So the stats so far: 57% ball possession for the home side, 1.40 xG against 0. 7 goal attempts to 2. There's that one shot on target from Boloka from long range that bounced through to Medet. 6 corner kicks to 1 in favour of Napoli. And last week, Sassuolo Atalanta, taking a look at their starting 11. De Frel started that game, and Viti. Those are the 2 changes, with Tresoldi and it's Boloka, the other player that's come in. No Berardi so far. Top scorer from last season, unavailable. 12 for him. Fratesi with 7. That's a lot of goals. 19 in total that have departed. Berardi's still at the club for now. Fratesi's moved on to Inter. Loriente also with 7. Pinamonti with 5. Enrique with 4. De Frel with the 2. They've beaten Napoli twice in Serie A, both in Naples, 2015-16 and 2020-21. Andrea Pinamonti, big raps on him, but last season he just wasn't able to fulfill some of the promise. But both of his braces in Serie A have come against Napoli. One of them with Empoli in April of 2022. A game that will torment Napoli fans for a long time. Since then, they've won the title. Many predicted that they wouldn't have a chance after letting go of all their big players. Raspadori's gone into the back of his opponent here. So Toljan hits the ground but earns the free kick. Boloka takes it. It's in the centre half circle. 3 minutes to go. Lopez and for Vigna. Again, trying to work that left side. Loriente goes back. The switch comes. Toljan's all alone. Now that's come off the Sassuolo right back. Raspadori wins the throw. That was intelligent. So Napoli breaking a hoodoo of not being able to score here, although it wasn't from general play. They won't care. They will take that. The tempo of the game largely dictated by them, although Sassuolo have come back into it. Quite a capable sides, at times untidy, but I think that's due to a little bit of worry in the back line with Juan Tresoldi. No Rogerio, he's moved on and Vigna's taken his place. The Coppa Italia win on penalties over second division Cosenza. It ended 2-2. Beirami Pinamonti got the goals. Pinamonti from the spots. Long ball comes now. Napoli have conceded a corner. A couple of minutes to go and then added time here with the Maradona. So this will be taken from the left side of the pitch. Runs up there. They've taken this short. Comes in from Loriente. Comes in low, and Osimhen's there to smash that ball. It was fired in, and then he fired it away like a missile, trying to get it up forward to Politano, who was all alone. Now Politano's clashed with Vigna, who's made the run forward. Politano hasn't tracked him, so Loriente to the edge of the box, squares it up. Here's Boloca, wants to fire it again, and the Romanian smashes that about 2 meters over the bar. So they ended up beating Cosenza on penalties after the 2-2 draw. Actually, they went to extra time. And Saida with a goal, Mulateri with a double. Played it out short from the back this time. Oliveira with Juan Jesus. Zielinski's there. Some fine passing going on. Anguissa. Lovely switch from Zielinski. Playing at left back for now. Finds Di Lorenzo. Puts him away for a 50-meter run. He gallops down the right side and finds Politano hugging the touchline. Back for Di Lorenzo. Needs to get past his man. Loriente. That is some stunning defending. Gets it down, but only as far as Ramani. The backline trio for now is Anguissa, Ramani, and Juan Jesus. Both fullbacks are pushed up a little high for Garcia. There's not much changed about this side since Spalletti's gone. As the season wears on, I think we'll be able to ask more questions. Frosinone and Sassuolo would be the ideal start.